I took away my daughter's phone and deleted all her applications because I broke mine and need a phone more than her. Then I found her sulking after I read her messages, so I grounded her. Now I have lost everything, but I don't regret a damn thing. I 38M work construction full-time, long hours, 6 days a week. I've been in the trade for nearly 17 years, mostly drywall and framing. My wife 39F, and I have been together since our mid-20s. And we've got one kid, our daughter, 13F. She just finished 7th grade last week. We've always been a bit tight on money, especially the last few years. I got laid off twice during COVID, and we burned through our savings trying to stay afloat. We didn't lose our house, but we're not far from the edge. My wife works at a veterinary clinic, and her hours bounce around. Between bills and groceries and my garbage insurance through work, we don't exactly have room for error. Now here's where this all starts. A few weeks ago, I went to the doctor for some testing because I'd been having some weird symptoms: fatigue, random weight loss, and abdominal pain that wouldn't go away. I thought it might be something with my liver, or maybe my stomach lining from all the years of working physical labor and living off gas station food. They ran some scans, and a week later I got a message that they found a mass. Not confirmed cancer yet, but the doctor said it might be, and that he wanted to follow up. I was scheduled for a call between 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. a few days ago. I couldn't take the day off. We're in the middle of a big commercial job, and I've already missed work for appointments. I told my supervisor I'd be keeping my phone on me, and I planned to step away for the call if it came in. I made it clear it was urgent, possibly life or death. Around 2:10 p.m., I set my phone down on a concrete block for literally 15 seconds while grabbing something from the truck. One of the newer guys on site, not a bad kid, just green-backed a Bobcat loader right over the damn thing. I'm not mad at him. He didn't see it, and accidents happen. But it shattered my phone completely, gone. Not even salvageable. That was my only line of contact with the doctor. No backup phone, no tablet, no smartwatch, just gone. I figured it was around 2:35 when that happened, and I had about 25 minutes left in my shift. I thought, okay, I'll head straight home, grab my wife's phone, or see if we can call the office together and explain the situation. I assumed she'd be home by 3:30 like usual. I clocked out at 3, rushed home, and got there about 3:30, maybe 3:35. My wife wasn't home, but my daughter was school just let out for summer, and she was sitting on the couch with her AirPods in, phone in her hand, watching TikTok or something. I told her, "Hey, I need your phone real quick. It's an emergency." She took one AirPod out and went, "Why?" I said, "My phone got broken at work. I need to call the doctor before their office closes. It's about the tests I had last week." She rolled her eyes and said, "You can't use mine, it's mine." Word for word. Like I was asking to borrow some priceless artifact. I said, "Kid, I bought that phone. You're 13. I'm not asking for a favor. I need to use it. Right now." She told me again, "No, it's mine. You said it was mine when you gave it to me. You don't get to just take it." Now, I get that kids that age are possessive about their stuff, especially phones. But I wasn't trying to browse Instagram. I was trying to call a damn doctor about a possibly cancerous tumor. I told her flat out, "Give me the phone, or I'm taking it." She pulled it back and said, "You're so dramatic," and that pushed me over the edge. I snatched it out of her hand and said, "You'll get it back when I say you get it back." By that time, it was close to 3:50. I found the doctor's number in her contacts. I'd sent a text from it once before for a pickup and called no answer. The office was already closed. Missed it by about 3 minutes. I sat there holding her phone, absolutely livid. At her. At myself. At the guy who ran over my phone. At the world. Because now I've got a possible tumor and no idea what the hell's next. I walked back into the living room and said, "I'm keeping your phone for now. You'll survive without it." She started yelling at me. Said I had no right. She said I broke my own phone, and it's not her problem. Slammed her door. Screamed that she hated me. The whole teenage meltdown. I told her, "Good, maybe without the phone you'll learn how to talk to people with respect." Then I sat down and started removing some of her apps. TikTok, Snap, whatever games she had. I downloaded my work app, we use it for schedules and timesheets, and my insurance login, and tried to set up basic stuff I'd need. I didn't plan to keep it forever, but I needed to make it usable for me in the meantime. I also, and this is where the next fight started, looked through her messages. Mostly her group chats with a few friends from school. She was dropping F-bombs, calling people hoes and bitches, And I saw a screenshot of a meme she sent that was way too sexual for a 13-year-old. I don't want to repeat it here, but it made my stomach turn. I knocked on her door and said, "We need to talk." She screamed back, "Get out." I opened it anyway and told her we'd be having a conversation about the kind of stuff she's sharing online. She saw that I'd read her chats and absolutely lost it. I told her she shouldn't be saying half of that crap, especially when she's only 13. She told me it was private and I had no right. I said, "When I pay for it, I have every right." That's when my wife walked in the door. She sees the two of us yelling, my daughter crying and red-faced, and her phone in my hand. She shouted, "What the hell is going on?" I told her everything: the call window, my phone getting crushed, our daughter refusing to let me use hers, me missing the call, and what I found in the texts. My wife didn't care about any of that. She went straight into, "You shouldn't have taken her phone. You shouldn't be going through her stuff." I told her I didn't have a choice, that I missed an urgent call because of a phone I bought and my own daughter acting like she's queen of the castle, that she was cussing up a storm in chats, and we clearly needed to set some boundaries. She came right back at me. "You violated her privacy. You're teaching her not to trust you. You're the parent, act like it." I snapped. I said, "So it's my fault my phone got destroyed. It's my fault I have a tumor too." She paused, then just went, "That's not a good point," and told our daughter to grab a bag. Then she said they were leaving. Not forever, just until I come to my senses. She said until I give our daughter her phone back and apologize. They're staying with her sister. And that's where I'm at. I've been alone in this house for 2 days now. I'm using my daughter's phone to manage my life and try to get back in touch with the doctor. I still haven't heard anything. And my wife is holding the relationship hostage over what I feel was a justified call in a high-stakes moment. So I'm sitting in a quiet house, working off a phone that barely has any of my stuff set up. And my wife's not answering messages. Just a text. Give her the phone back and apologize. That's it. No, "How are you feeling?" No talk about the doctor. No mention of the fact that I still don't know what's growing inside me. My daughter hasn't contacted me either. She blocked my number on everything before she left. I had to message her through the school portal just to ask her to let me know she was okay. She never responded. My wife's sister, where I assume they are, hasn't said anything either. The whole side of the family is giving me the silent treatment. And here's the thing. I don't feel bad for taking the phone. At all. She's 13. I paid for the phone. I pay the bill. If it came down to my daughter not being able to scroll TikTok for a day or me missing out on finding out whether I have cancer, it's not even a question. The fact that I still missed the call is exactly why I kept it. I don't trust that if I gave it back, she wouldn't just lock it again or refuse if something urgent came up. And now I know she's sending sexual memes and swearing like a grown man in her chats. I'm even more sure I need to monitor it for a while. Last fall, she called me a psycho because I told her to come downstairs for dinner without yelling. She screamed, "You're so toxic," and slammed her door. My wife said, "She's going through stuff. Be patient." I said, "Sure, fine. But that doesn't mean we ignore it." I got called controlling for wanting to put time limits on her screen time. Called aggressive because I raised my voice once when she cursed at her mom. I've backed off a lot over the last year, even though my gut said I shouldn't. I get that teenagers push boundaries. But there's been this slow shift in the house where I'm the bad guy for doing basic parenting. I've brought up my concerns about how disrespectful she's getting, how she talks to us like we're her staff, and how we let her spend hours a day online with zero oversight. I got told I was making things worse by pointing it out. So when she refused to let me use the phone after I explained I needed it for a medical emergency, it wasn't just about the phone. It was a buildup, a line in the sand. I already know people are going to say I escalated, that I should have walked away, waited for my wife, or tried something else. But what other options did I have? Hope the doctor tries again the next day. Just sit there and let a 13-year-old decide how serious my health is. I don't buy the privacy argument either. She's a kid. If she's sending stuff she wouldn't want her parents seeing, maybe she shouldn't be sending it. I didn't go digging because I wanted to. I needed to make sure nothing illegal or dangerous was going on. And honestly, some of the messages were disturbing. The kind of stuff that gets kids suspended or worse. My wife is acting like I committed some unforgivable sin, like taking the phone and reading the chats was beyond the pale. She didn't ask what was in the messages. Didn't ask why I needed to use the phone for more than a day. Just labeled it as overreach and moved out. That's where I start to wonder if this is bigger than the phone. We've been drifting apart for a while now. Not cheating or anything like that, but we're not a team anymore. She tells our daughter things like, "Don't worry, I'll fix this," like I'm some tyrant she needs protection from. She undermines decisions I make in front of her. I say, "No more screen time tonight," and 10 minutes later my wife is telling her she can finish the episode. It's nonstop. So no, I don't regret what I did. I made a judgment call. I stood up for myself in a moment when I felt completely powerless, no control over my health, my job, or my family. But now I'm being treated like I'm the one who needs to apologize for not letting a child gatekeep access to a life or death phone call. So Reddit, tell me, Ada. Comments. Comment 1. YTA. But not for the reasons everyone's yelling about. You were absolutely right to take the phone in that moment. You were desperate, and your daughter's response lacked empathy. But your reaction afterwards, claiming the phone, permanently, snooping through her conversations without any warning, then confronting her while already angry, that's where you lost the high ground. And I don't say that lightly. I don't think kids deserve total privacy. I believe in digital monitoring. But tone matters. Intent matters. She didn't curse at you. She was chatting with her peers using language they all used. Could she be more respectful? Yes. But she's 13. She's learning. You're supposed to guide her, not jump straight into punishment mode. I'm also concerned about how you talk to your wife. Throwing the tumor in her face during an argument might have been a low blow, even if I get where it came from. You're under extreme stress, financial, emotional, medical, and it sounds like your household doesn't have the communication infrastructure to handle that pressure. That's not your fault alone, but it's boiling over. So while I do think you made mistakes, I also think you're being scapegoated here. Your wife left instead of talking. Your daughter acted entitled. This isn't just a phone issue, it's 3 people failing to communicate under stress. If you're open to it, family therapy might be the thing that stops this whole situation from spiraling even more. Comment 2. Gonna be real with you, this wasn't about a phone. This was about you snapping because you feel like your wife and kid don't respect you. And yeah, I get it. That builds up over time. But you're not going to win this by turning a 13-year-old's phone into a battlefield. You came home already pissed and used the tumor situation to push a power play. That doesn't mean the emergency wasn't real, but you used it as an excuse to make a bigger point. I paid for this, I control it, you do what I say. That's not how you build trust or get your kid to grow up decent. Also, your wife is leaving with the kid. That doesn't happen out of nowhere. That tells me this wasn't the first time you blew past everyone's boundaries to do things your way. You're not entirely the arsehole here, but you are digging yourself deeper by doubling down. Take the L, give the phone back, and talk to your wife like a damn partner instead of barking orders. And get a burner phone or something for emergencies. You're not wrong to be angry, you're just pointing it at the wrong target. Comment 3. Your post screams of a man who feels unheard and sidelined, and is now overcorrecting by exerting force where he still can. That's not an insult, it's an observation. From your description, your wife routinely overrides you. Your daughter talks back without consequences. You feel like you're walking on eggshells in your own home while carrying all the financial risk. That kind of imbalance will make anyone snap eventually. But here's the problem. When you finally push back, you're doing it with brute force instead of strategy. The phone wasn't the problem. The problem is that your authority has been chipped away for years. Your daughter sees you as an angry man, not a leader. Your wife sees you as someone to manage, not partner with. And when you finally drew a line, you chose the worst hill to die on, a teenager's phone during an emergency. You need therapy individually and with your wife. Not because you're crazy, but because you're unraveling under the pressure of not being heard or respected. If you don't get ahead of this, your family won't come back. And even if they do, they won't respect you. You'll just be the angry guy with the nuked phone plan. Update. It's been 4 days since they left. First, I tried to keep it civil. I sent a couple of texts to my wife. We need to talk. No response. And then she blocked me. I thought, fine. Give it space. Then I check our bank account and see an $129 withdrawal. My wife used our joint savings to buy my daughter a brand new iPhone and a designer case from some mall store. I only noticed because I got an alert for a suspicious transaction. When I called her, it went straight to voicemail. She'd blocked me too. She didn't even ask. Just drained our savings without discussion. This is money I've been putting in for months for bills, groceries, and now apparently a replacement phone for the one I confiscated. A phone I bought. I finally drove to her sister's house. She wouldn't let me in. Said they'd talk. Only when I calmed down and admit I was wrong. I asked to see my daughter. She said she didn't want to see me. My wife stood behind her like a bouncer. Then came the kicker. I get a call from my doctor's office, finally. They got me scheduled for follow-up. It's not benign. Not confirmed cancer yet, but it's serious enough that I need a biopsy and possibly a treatment plan within the month. I told my wife, thinking that might matter. She said, I hope you take this time to reflect and work on yourself. That's it. No offer to come back. No offer to help. Just a vague guilt trip and a reminder that I'm the problem. Here's where it goes even deeper. I recheck some of the stuff she'd been doing online. Turns out she had multiple Instagram and Snapchat accounts. The nice one she let us see, and then 2 others filled with stuff I can't even repeat. Dirty jokes, thirst traps, and chats. No real names. One of them said he was 17, but based on the language, I doubt it. I printed screenshots. Showed my wife. She said I violated her daughter's space, and that I was using scare tactics. Claimed I probably exaggerated or edited things. I told her this wasn't a joke anymore. Our daughter is 13 and sending semi-naked memes and talking to older guys online. Her response: she wouldn't have had to hide anything if she felt safe with you. What? This isn't about safety. It's about a complete lack of discipline and her thinking she's untouchable. And I now understand why, because her mother lets her do whatever the hell she wants and turns me into the villain every time I try to draw a line. I told my sister everything. She called my wife and let her have it said she was raising an entitled brat, and that if she really cared about her kid's safety, she'd stop treating a parent doing damage control like he's the abuser. That didn't go over well. Now my wife's sister jumped in, saying I've always been controlling and emotionally aggressive, whatever the hell that means. Then she drags up SHT from 5 years ago, like the time I said our daughter didn't need a $300 birthday party and suggested a backyard BBQ instead. Suddenly that's emotional deprivation. What the hell is happening? I now have 2 families at war. My sister and brother are both backing me up, saying this is years of my wife undermining me. Her side is acting like I'm 1 step away from locking my daughter in a tower. I'm getting texts from extended family with, just give her the phone and apologize. It's not worth it, like this is a dumb fight over screen time. It's not. I'm standing here watching my own kid spiral, and no one wants to admit it's gotten out of control, because that would mean admitting I wasn't crazy in the first place. It's gotten so bad. My wife sent me an official message, not through text, not in person, but through her lawyer friend. Says she's exploring options for temporary separation and wants documentation that I won't contact my daughter unless invited. I didn't hit anyone. I just took a phone and read messages because I was scared for her and because I needed to make a damn phone call about my own health. Now I'm some villain needing boundaries. No one cares that I might be sick. My wife told me, word for word, if you had handled things differently, we'd be supporting you right now. So I have to earn support now. If I want my family around while I wait to find out if I have cancer, I have to say sorry for parenting. This is messed up. I feel like I've been erased from my own house. My daughter got rewarded for disrespecting me. My wife made a financial decision behind my back. I'm cut off from my kid. And the people who are supposed to be on my side are acting like I burned the house down because I took a damn phone during a health scare. I'll say it again. I don't regret what I did. I regret how easily my wife flipped. I regret how ready she was to let our daughter disrespect me. And I regret trusting that we were a team. But I don't regret drawing a line, even if I'm standing on it alone. Comments. Comment 1. You're not wrong for being angry. You're not wrong for being scared. But you've got to realize this isn't just about the phone, the messages, or even your daughter. This is about years of resentment bubbling over. From both sides. Your wife is done with your my way or the highway style. You say she flipped on you, but I'd bet money this was a long time coming. She didn't leave over a phone. She left because she's probably been waiting for the moment that validated her decision to step away. That doesn't make her right. She absolutely effed up by going behind your back, draining savings, and ignoring your health situation like it's a petty argument. And your daughter. The way she's acting shows she's never been given any real accountability. She learned from her mom that if dad enforces a rule, just go around him. You've been disrespected, yeah. But you've also let the distance grow so wide that now when you try to assert anything, it feels like violence to them. You don't need to apologize for being scared or for trying to parent, but you do need to acknowledge the emotional neglect in your marriage that led here. Or this separation is just step 1. Comment 2. You're getting played, man. Straight up. Your wife took your kid, cut you off, spent joint money without permission, and is now using some lawyer friend to start laying the groundwork to paint you as dangerous. You better get real smart, real fast. Document everything. Every text. Every call you made. Every time she dismissed your health. Because this is heading for a custody war. And they're building a case where you're emotionally aggressive, while they ride the moral high horse of protecting the daughter. I've been in your shoes. And trust me, once a teenager figures out they can play parents against each other, and mom backs them up, it's game over unless you go full defense mode. Forget earning support. Start earning leverage. Lawyer up. Start therapy yourself so they can't weaponize mental health against you later. And for the love of God, stop waiting for them to treat you like a human being again. They already decided you're the problem. You have to protect yourself now. Comment 3. From a psychological standpoint, this is what happens when a child is placed in a triangle between two conflicting parents. Your daughter learned to weaponize loyalty. That's not her fault, it's the environment. She has no consistent authority figures. You enforce structure, but you're isolated and vilified for it. Your wife plays good cop, but disables you in the process. So your daughter learns that manipulation and emotion get her what she wants, not communication or accountability. You're not crazy for what you did. If anything, you were the only one who actually tried to parent when something serious happened. But the emotional ecosystem your daughter lives in has taught her that boundaries equal sign abuse and rules equal sign betrayal. Your wife, frankly, is enabling this. Maybe unintentionally, maybe not. But pulling money, cutting off access, and blocking you while you're awaiting cancer results is emotional sabotage, plain and simple. If you want any hope of salvaging your family, you all need professional help separately and together. But that starts with your wife recognizing you're not the villain. And that's going to take more than time. It's going to take accountability from her, too, and I don't think she's there yet. Update. Alright, strap in. This is the end of it. After my last update, things spiral. My biopsy came back. The tumor is not benign, but the doctor said it's treatable and caught early enough that it's highly manageable with treatment, assuming I start ASAP. Surgery and/or radiation on the table. I told my wife. She responded, "Stop using this cancer stuff as emotional manipulation." That was the moment I realized she didn't just choose our daughter over me, she chose to dehumanize me. Then it got worse. I found a GoFundMe she posted titled, "Single Mom Helping Daughter Heal from Traumatic Emotional Abuse." She claimed I was using a false illness to emotionally blackmail them. She even wrote, "Even now, he's pretending he might have cancer just to get us back." People donated money to her. Friends were commenting, "Stay strong, queen." The doctor literally used the word tumor, and she still called it fake. So I confronted her. She agreed to meet in a neutral place, her cousin's backyard. Calm setting. She arrived with her arms folded like she was the injured party. I told her straight up, "Stop saying I'm faking cancer." She laughed, said, "Come on, you're acting like you're dying to get sympathy." Then she hit me with, "And even if you were sick, it changes nothing. I'm done. I've been seeing someone for 2 months." Just flatly, like she was telling me the weather. I asked who. She said a guy from her gym. "We've slept together, I like him. And I plan to keep seeing him. I don't want you in our lives anymore. Just leave us alone." I asked if she was serious about replacing me as a father. She said, "She has a positive male role model now. He respects her space. Unlike you." She walked away mid-conversation after saying she hoped I'd find peace alone. I recorded the whole conversation. Legally allowed in my state, one-party consent. I sent the audio to my daughter. About 2 hours later, my daughter called me the first time she'd reached out willingly since everything started. She was crying. She asked me, "Did Mum really call your cancer fake and say she's replacing you?" I said yes. She asked if I hated her. I said no, I love her. She asked if I'd take her back home if she left. I said if she wanted to, yes. The next morning, she showed up at my house with a duffel bag, her new phone, and red eyes. Said she'd heard her mom on the phone with the guy later that night joking about how drama boy me was still crying about his little tumor. She said hearing that broke something. A day later, the wife found out the daughter left and absolutely lost it. She blew up my phone with messages. "Return her now or I'm calling cops for kidnapping." I responded, "She came here voluntarily. We can talk custody legally." Right after that, my wife filed for emergency custody. claiming I was emotionally abusive and forcing our daughter into parental alienation. She used the phone situation and the alleged screaming and claimed I mentally tortured them. She attached her GoFundMe as evidence of trauma. Her lawyer friend tried to push this as an emergency case. The judge denied emergency custody outright, then allowed the daughter to speak privately. The daughter told the court everything, including how the mother ignored the cancer diagnosis, drained joint funds, helped her hide things online, called the father manipulative, and openly discussed a new boyfriend replacing him as dad. The judge asked the daughter where she preferred to stay for now. She said, "With dad." Temporary custody was awarded to me pending a full hearing. The wife gets visitation under supervision until things are evaluated fully. The judge also flagged the GoFundMe as potential defamation if medical proof exists. It does. I brought documentation. My wife tried to show up at my house later that night, screaming that I brainwashed her daughter. I didn't engage. Daughter refused to come outside. I called the police to document harassment and her violation of court orders about not disturbing me outside visitation guidelines. Police made her leave. As for the police and the daughter's previous online stuff, I provided logs to the school resource officer. Turned out at least one person she was chatting with was an 18-year-old pretending to be 16. Police said since no explicit images were confirmed as coming from her, there would be no charges. But they put her into mandatory digital safety counseling and warned her mother should have informed authorities earlier. My wife is now in panic mode, painting me as a master manipulator. My side of the family is supporting me. Her side is divided, some now calling her selfish for dismissing cancer and cheating before even filing anything. As for the tumor, the treatment plan starts soon. The surgeon is optimistic based on the location and size. I'm scared, but I'm not alone now. My daughter asked to attend the first appointment with me, so she knows what's happening. We talked about the phone stuff. I apologized for how I handled it, but explained my fear and why I panicked. She said she understands now and regrets how she responded then. She's in therapy already, court recommended. I'll be entering therapy too, not court mandated, but because I need it. My wife. Probably going to keep playing victim until the court process finishes. I'm done chasing her for anything. She made her choice. Me. I'm hurt and exhausted but alive. I'm not manipulating SHT, I'm fighting something in my body and rebuilding from something outside of it. And I'm going to be okay. So yeah, that's where this ends for me. Thanks to those who weren't blinded by TikTok dramatics. I'm focusing on my health and my kid. I'm done with my wife forever. Update. It's been 4 months since my daughter moved back in with me, and the court gave me temporary custody. A lot's happened. Some of it is good. Some of it is brutal. But what matters is that it's real, and I'm standing in it now with both feet. Let's start with my daughter. She's doing okay, really okay. Not magically healed, not bouncing back like nothing happened, but present, grounded, accountable. We've had therapy sessions, hard conversations, and quiet nights where she just cried and said she missed when things were simple and I wasn't sick. She told me she believed her mom over me at first because mom made it easier. No rules, no pressure, just comfort. But once she heard that recording her mother saying my tumor was fake and that I was replaceable, something changed. That fantasy popped. She's rebuilding. Grades are steady. She's back in school, joined a music club, and started seeing a counselor regularly. We've got tech rules now, not to control her, but to protect her. She checks in voluntarily, and we've agreed to full transparency until she feels ready to manage things fully herself. We eat dinner together every night, even on the days I'm too wiped from treatment to say much. That's the kind of stability she never had when our house was full of screaming and power plays. Now, my health. The tumor wasn't benign. It's localized, and my doctors are cautiously optimistic. I had surgery to remove the main mass, and I've been going through radiation. It's kicking my arse, fatigue, nausea, brain fog. Some days I just lie on the couch watching the ceiling, trying not to throw up. But I'm alive. I'm in treatment. And most importantly, we caught it early. There's a long road ahead, but my prognosis is good if I keep up with care. I'm not out of the woods, but I'm not dying either. I've got a shot, and I'm taking it. Now, my ex. She came back. 2 weeks ago, she showed up on my porch. No text, no warning, just standing there holding a grocery bag of things you left at the old house. What was in it? My hoodie, some vitamins, a letter I wrote to my daughter years ago, and bizarrely the first Father's Day card I ever got. She started crying before I even opened the screen door. Said she wasn't thinking clearly. That she panicked after things got hard. That the guy she'd been seeing ghosted her after the custody case failed. Said her sister turned cold and her friends stopped replying. That the GoFundMe blew up in her face and people stopped trusting her. She said, "I don't know who I became, but it wasn't me." And then she said, "I want to fix this." I just told her, "You broke it because you wanted to. And now I'm the one picking up the pieces with our daughter." She asked if we could try again, even said, "I never stopped loving you." I told her, point blank, I'm not interested. And I meant it. I said the only thing I care about now is helping our daughter feel safe again. And she wasn't going to do that by reinserting herself into our lives like nothing happened. I also told her I've already filed the divorce paperwork. It's not finalized yet, it's too early still, but the ball's rolling. She looked stunned, like she didn't think I'd actually go through with it. She left after that. Said she'd think about how to rebuild. I said, "Do it somewhere else." Since then, she's sent a few emotional texts, but nothing aggressive. My daughter agreed to supervised visitation, only through the court schedule. She told her mom she doesn't trust her right now, and she's not ready to play pretend. I didn't coach her on that. That was all her. Here's the part I didn't expect. I feel peace. Not joy. Not vindication. Just peace. There's no more second guessing. No more watching someone weaponize love and twist it into guilt. No more walking into my own home wondering if I'm going to get the silent treatment or passive-aggressive jabs. I make breakfast. I take my meds. I go to appointments. I check in on my daughter's homework. I water the plants. And yeah, sometimes I cry in the shower because I'm scared about the next MRI. But I'm living. Not surviving, living. And I'm doing it without begging anyone to love me, right? I'm not a perfect man. I know I handled things wrong in the heat of all this. I reacted with control when I felt powerless. I overcorrected. But I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't abandon. And now, with the court on my side, the treatment under control, and my daughter healing besides me, I know I made it through the worst of it. My ex burned the bridge and expected me to rebuild it. But I finally learned, some bridges aren't meant to be rebuilt. They're meant to be left in ashes, so you can build something stronger on your own. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. Edit. My family is helping me through the treatment. Sorry for not mentioning it earlier. Thank you for watching the video. If you are interested in listening to these kinds of stories, we've got more in store for you. Simply subscribe to our channel, hit the like button, and share it with your friends.